roll. It is Wisdom Wednesday once again, another gorgeous day, although it is breezy, so I hope that this doesn't blow over my high-tech sign that I have here. Let's just get started and recap, because it's been 2 weeks since we've had Wisdom Wednesday, and the last time I talked to you, we talked about just getting started. In order to make progress, caught it. In order to make progress, you have to get started. Once you do a little bit more, that's like that domino effect. You've got to start with the smallest step you can. Intensity. Do you have the fire? Do you have enough fire to focus your efforts and your energy? Hope so. And then pride in your work. Have you remembered that your work is a reflection of you? For people who don't know anything else about you, your work might be the only thing they know about you. What does it say? And then did you challenge yourself to see how much quality work you can complete in 1 hour? What did you find out? Because you know that's all part of the experiment. Figure out what works. Figure out what doesn't work. Keep doing the things that work. Stop doing what doesn't work. How about that? Today, I thought it would be a great time to talk about recalibrating, right? We are in the home stretch for school. We have just a few weeks left, and this is a really tough time to focus because look at it's springtime. We want to be outside. We want to be with our friends. Let's think about ways that we can actually focus and still be productive, and then you can go out and have more fun. So we always talk about time management. You've probably heard this from your parents, from your friends. Manage your time, find the time, make the time. What if you flipped it and thought about energy management? It does not matter how much time you have. If you don't get a good night of sleep, you will not have any energy. You won't be able to focus. You won't have willpower. You will not be motivated. So if you don't get a good night of sleep, you don't have energy, and you're never going to have a focus strong enough to have time management. So what's the number one way to get more energy? A good night of sleep. What's the number one way to get a good night of sleep? Turn that phone off. Turn off those screens at least 1 hour before you go to bed. And if you haven't tried that yet, if you say, oh, that's silly, then maybe you should try it first and see. We want to fill up this battery. That energy that you have, you want it to be filled to the top. The more sleep and more rest that your brain has, the better you can focus, stronger your willpower, stronger your motivation. And with that, you'll be able to manage your time. Number 2, trust yourself. Have you ever had a friend say, hey, I'll pick you up at 5 o'clock. You're waiting and they don't show up. They don't call. Don't know what happened. Maybe you shrug it off and say, oh, okay. And the next day, they do the same thing. They say, I'll pick you up at 5 o'clock. You're waiting. No phone call, no text. They don't show up. How do you feel? Like, where's your level of trust in believing what this person tells you? It's probably starting to go down, right? If they do it a third time, you're not going to trust that person when they tell you something, right? Well, the same thing happens with yourself. Your brain is listening. So if you tell yourself, I'm going to do that homework tonight, and you don't do it, then your brain says, okay, observing. You don't do it again. You say, oh, I'll do it again. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow comes around, you don't do it. Your brain starts to say, I don't trust this guy. I don't trust this girl. Your brain is registering everything that you do, every decision that you make. So in order for you to trust yourself, if the more that you do that's aligned with what you want to do, it's kind of like, I look at it as almost like a piggy bank, right? And you're putting in, every time that you do something and you keep your word, it's like putting money in a bank. You're depositing. Like, okay, that worked. That's what I wanted to do. I said I was going to do it. I did it. Boom. Trust. Every time you do that, your trust level goes higher. So if you don't trust yourself, it's just like when we talked about believing in yourself, you're the first person who has to believe in yourself. Nobody else will. Don't wait for somebody else. Same with the trusting yourself. You have to do the work so that your own brain can trust you. Kind of crazy to think about it like that. Which leads to number 3, mental toughness. Sometimes it's really hard. I didn't want to get out of bed this morning. I wanted to stay in bed. But I got up and did my workout. Because part of it was because of you guys. Because I knew that I was going to be talking about this today. And I said, I have to do what I'm telling them to do. Right? So being mentally tough, I said I was going to get up 5 minutes earlier. I'm going to do it. Try that. Talk to yourself. Like, everything is an experiment. Try it for a week. Say, when that alarm goes off, I'm going to hit the snooze just 1 time instead of 4 times. Try it. Experiment. See what works. And eventually, you will be up here. You have climbed. We talked about this in one class today. About, you don't want to be stuck in the middle of the mountain. You want to keep climbing. So you're keeping climbing, you're moving. That mental toughness. And then my question for you, so let's recap. Energy management, got to get that good night of sleep. Shut that phone off, shut those screens off at least 1 hour before bedtime, and then you'll be able to manage your time a little bit better. You've got to trust yourself, just like depositing in a bank. Your brain is watching, your brain is listening to everything that you say to yourself and everything that you do. The more positive things that you do, the more your trust will build. And the only way to do that is with mental toughness. You've got to just say that you're going to do it and do it. So my question for you today is, what will you do to create space for the person you truly, really want to be? You want to be a certain way. You want to be a certain type of person. What's stopping you? Go out there and do it. All right, you guys. That is it for today. Have an amazing, amazing Wednesday, and I will see you in class on Thursday. Bye.